His country defying all the odds and showing the world they can hold their own against Russia. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy made a historic visit to Washington, D.C.
He spoke to Congress and received rare bipartisan support. He repeatedly thanked Americans for sending billions of dollars in aid to Ukraine and made the case for getting even more. KCAL9 political reporter Tom Wade has the very latest. And Tom, this secret trip was his first time here since the invasion began in February.
That's correct. And as you said, very historic and a very powerful, dramatic, and, kind of even emotional moment there when he made that appearance. So this visit comes just a day after President Zelenskyy met with his troops on the front lines, and as Russia continues to kill and terrorize innocent civilians with constant bombings, which are also plunging the country into darkness as the frigid Ukraine winter begins.
I'm Speaker, the President of Ukraine.
President Zelenskyy of Ukraine gets a hero's welcome inside the Capitol, an emotional standing ovation that seemingly had no end. Zelenskyy speaking to a joint meeting of Congress with a clear message to the world.
Ukraine is alive and kicking.
The visit to Congress comes as Zelenskyy's country has endured 10 months of horrific bloodshed and destruction during Russia's unprovoked and murderous invasion.
The Russians' tactic is primitive. They burn down and destroy everything they see. They send thugs to the front lines. They send convicts to the war.
Before his appearance on Capitol Hill, Zelenskyy met with President Biden, who agreed to give Ukraine the sophisticated Patriot missile defense system, along with a nearly $2 billion aid package. Zelenskyy was effusive in his praise and thanks to the U.S. for all of its support.
I hope my words of respect and gratitude resonate in each American heart.
He also praised his troops and invoked American heroism as he talked about Ukraine's unbreakable spirit.
Just like the brave American soldiers which held their lines and fought back Hitler's forces during the Christmas of 1944, brave Ukrainian soldiers are doing the same to Putin's forces this Christmas.
As he closed his speech, Zelenskyy delivered a Ukrainian flag given to him by soldiers on the front line. The symbolism of Zelenskyy's visit giving hope to local Ukrainian Americans who live with the constant anxiety of the war. Mikhailo Lavris is with the Stand With Ukraine Foundation, an LA-based organization that helps get humanitarian aid to Ukraine.
How powerful and emotional was that speech, and how important was it for Ukrainians and Ukrainian Americans to see him there, to hear him speak to Congress?
You see, it's actually what I was thinking to myself. If I could describe this whole speech in 2 words, it would have been powerful and emotional. I mean, I had to hold the tears several times myself,
At the outset of Russia's invasion, we connected with a number of Ukrainian Americans living in LA who have family in the war zone. One of them was Tanya Kozak. We spoke with her again Wednesday. She said President Zelenskyy's visit gives her hope, but until there is peace, Tanya says she lives with an open wound.
For me, it's stress every single day, tears every day. I don't remember, Tom, the day when I didn't cry.
Military observers say giving Ukraine the advanced Patriot missile system is a critical move as winter comes to the battlefield and ground battles pause, replaced by an ever-increasing missile war. President Biden brushed off concerns the system could provoke Russia. Ross?
Such an emotional speech. Thanks a lot, Tom.